Everybody, excuse me. Everybody looks like we're live here on Christmas Eve. And welcome everybody to the Art of Reading Smoke with Phil Jost. Thanks for being here on Christmas Eve. Give a couple minutes for people to log in and get their notifications that I'm live. That's why I try and do it every week at the same time. So you know when to tune in, but you still have to wait till I'm here till you can click on, and I appreciate that. Yeah, as we're getting started here, first, just a Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy holidays, Happy New Year. I really want everybody to not just stay safe out there, but really enjoy this time of year. As much as it's been a challenging year, a, a lot of us have a lot to be thankful for, me included. Just to give you a heads up, if you like these videos, I'd appreciate it if you're already a subscriber. We'll talk about the new subscribers here in a second, but if you're already a subscriber, if you'd spread the word and or leave comments or thumbs up in of each video, it helps get YouTube. That's the way that they make videos more visible when people search for them. So you'd really be doing me a favor if you like and comment and that sort of thing. And the biggest thing for me is to just spread the Reading Smoke message and get an opportunity for everybody to learn from volume, velocity, density, color, and we can all work together on that. Hey, new subscribers this week, John Loeffler. Hey, John Loeffler, just like an hour ago. So welcome aboard, John. Devin Troxell, Bob Tucker, Firemat 1977, and Taylor Anderson. So thanks for coming on board for Reading Smoke. Hey, and if you can help spread the word or leave a comment, be great. I'm always checking the chat while we're going along here to see if people have questions or ideas or things that they want to talk about. And I respond to every single comment that comes on board with the Reading Smoke. So I might not get as many viewers today because I know it is Christmas Eve. So we're going to get going. I'm due over my in-laws here in about an hour and a half. So a few things on my to-do list before we go over there. And wanted to let everybody know next week, hey, it's my anniversary. I got my 30th anniversary is next week, so I won't be here. I'll be spending that time with my wife and my kids and their significant others. We haven't seen each other in a long time, and everybody's been quarantining, so we're gonna get together next week. And so I'm going to prioritize that over being here with you. Not that I don't love all of you, but we'll see you in the new year in 2021, right? Hey, we're at Worcester today, Worcester Fire Department, and we're going to be on scene with You Dizzy 1969 and taking a look at his video and learning as much as we can. This ends up being a change in strategy here for Worcester Fire. They end up going to a defensive mode, and I cut the video just a little bit after that. But as you know, my premise is that there isn't a video that we can't learn something from, right? And one of the things I like about this video, you see the way that he's panning, and you'll see a couple times that they go to a second camera that's down the street. Excuse me, a little bit of frog in my throat today. And one of the reasons I like that is it gives us a chance to be more like somebody who's on the fire ground, where we're not just staring at the video the entire time, right? We're doing something. I don't care if you're putting up ladders, stretching hose, forcing doors, right? When you're involved in those task level functions, same thing for incident commanders, right? You know, you're making your assignments, you're tracking your companies. You're not just constantly looking at the building full time. That's just not the way it works. And so it gives us a chance to come back and forth. And we can see they've got a really good working fire in this. I think they call these triple deckers, built on the hillside. So there's a little bit of a basement there as well. All wood frame. You can see that there's just kind of row after row of them. I'm going to pause the video here in a second and just take a look at, let's go here, right? So See, we look at whenever we're inventorying the attributes, right, is volume, velocity, density, color compared to the size of the box. And then where's the fire now? Where's it going? And what are we going to do about it? So the tactics piece is what are we going to do about it? And that's, you guys know, it's not something I cover here. I do teach tactics, but I just don't do it in these reading smoke videos, right? Try to separate those two out from each other. But in this case, we have a high volume, high velocity smoke that's coming somewhere from the back of the building that we can see here. We're just seeing a trail of it. Um, but if we move it, you know, we can see it's pretty significant back here. We have smoke coming out of these two windows right here, and we have smoke coming out of these attic vents. This up here, I'd say like a moderate volume. Again, black smoke. All the smoke is some version of black. You get a little bit of brown from the preheating of the attic space up here. But predominantly, we're looking at black, which is coming from a pretty significant working fire. Apparently, it started in the back of the third floor. I should say that better, back of floor 3. As we get going, high volume back here, high volume, high velocity, thick black smoke. Sort of out of here, we have moderate volume, I'd say laminar, whereas this is turbulent, this is laminar, although some of this is sort of in and out of being laminar versus turbulent. And then the last piece is, I didn't get a good shot of it before, but there's a window right here. We're going to see smoke coming out of this window right here. And so if we have smoke coming out here, that means we know that the smoke not only has it started in the back, worked its way up. It may not be an attic fire right now, but it's definitely on its way. And we know that we've covered this a lot of times, but now we know, right, from reading the smoke, we know we have continuity of fuel. So from here back to the seat of the fire, we know that the door to this room, or if this is 2 rooms, I think it's just 1, but the door to this room is open. The door to the kitchen is open, and there's fuel, right, which is smoke. Smoke is fuel. There's smoke and fuel from here to the seat of the fire in a direct line. Same thing is true here. If we've got smoke in this window, which we do as part of this video, then we know that the hallway, the stairway that connects these floors go in here, go up, up. That's also charged with smoke. Okay, so a nice read for that is if you're the engine company stretching, now you know you're going to need to, at some point between here and there, you're going to need to mask up, because there's definitely smoke in this hallway. It's not like we can look in here and the hallway's clear and we can stretch to floor 3. So somewhere in there, somebody's going to have to decide whether, when you're stretching, whether to stretch dry all the way to the floor 3 landing, or to maybe stop on floor 2, stretch there, or stretch up the stairwell, right? There's a decision to be made based on the smoke, and to make that decision, you have to be reading smoke in that hallway. Maybe it's a situation where somebody can get up there, masked up, get up to the top real quick and pull the door closed, right? Which would give us a nice barrier. We could stretch and charge on floor 3. But if I have to, it's going to be, to me, the difference is understanding that the time element for getting water into this apartment changes fairly dramatically if I can stretch up here dry, coil and charge on, or position the line and charge on floor 3, versus if I have to position and charge the line on floor 2 and then advance up to floor 3. Probably, I would say, somewhere between a minute and maybe a minute would be fast. That would be a pretty significant speed for the crew. But I would say it wouldn't be unreasonable to think this is going to be a 2 to 3 minutes difference in overall stretch time to floor 3, depending on that condition, right? It's one of the reasons when I worked for Seattle that we required the first officer, the first crew on a floor to give us a reading, conditions, actions, needs, or LCAN or something like that. Let us know what the smoke and heat conditions are on the fire floor, right? As I see, it gives you a sense of what's going to happen. All right. And one of the things when we're looking next week, if you look at the SBSK site, I said we won't be here on YouTube Live, but next week we're going to look at a fire attack that where the smoke conditions get better. But we're going to notice here is, whoa, sorry about that. Oh, that was weird. Anyway, we're going to move on. Things you control, things you don't control, right? We're going to move on, but we notice here that as we're going, the smoke conditions are only getting worse. Now we've been going, what, 2.5 minutes, and the volume velocity from here, the color is black almost the whole time, but the volume and velocity, and it's always been thick the entire time. A little bit of strangeness going on, but now we're down. This is the second camera video, so we're not looking at the building itself anymore. We can see a pretty significant column of smoke, right? Pretty significant column of smoke from a couple blocks away, reinforcing what we can see when we're on scene. So let's pop forward. We're going to go. Now we can see definitely that smoke. Now this is definitely laminar, right? So it's pushing down, but it's lost all its energy, lost all its heat. But it is pretty thick. If you were in here, the visibility at this level would be pretty significantly impacted, right? Because it's going to be pushing straight down with that leading edge being the most cool, drifting out here laminar, but definitely turbulent, thick black smoke from all these openings here on floor number 3 as they are stretching and that sort of thing. And you can see here they're actually I didn't notice this before, but let's go back, right? I can see here now that they've actually charged outside the building, and they're gonna. So we're talking about another minute and a half, 2 minutes. So probably four to 5 minutes to stretch a charge line from here. You don't think it's going to take that long, and I'm looking at maybe 3 or 4 firefighters here, and certainly more help makes that quicker. But there you go. All right, let's move on. Now, they end up going for a change in strategy here, and we can see that they definitely have high velocity, thick black smoke coming out this is much more significant along this edge. And what that's telling me, right, is that if the fire attack's working, your 4 attributes should get better. And if your fire attack is struggling, they're probably going to get worse. In this case, we can see if we go from here, sorry, it's a little choppy today, but we go from here, we look at this versus this, significant difference between those two, right? Over the course of 4 or 5 minutes. And now we're going to go forward. They're pulling people out, switching over to a defensive strategy. And we're going to see the fire come along this edge, right? It's going to work from you can see clearly here now, it's in the back, probably an outside deck structure there. And let's go forward. We can see, okay, and as always, we can predict, right? If we have a lot of velocity and turbulence, fire's on its way to that space. And if they didn't do anything about this, you can see from the turbulence here and here, that this fire is going to work its way down here, and you're not going to be too long before you have fire coming out of this window. But they're going to use this deck gun here and get some water up in there. We're going to watch that just because I want you to see the change that occurs when they apply this water, mostly to the volume, right? The volume's going to go up because of the steam, and we're going to get a significant change in color for a period of time. Now, because the velocity doesn't change, and we still have a lot of gray once they do this, we know we haven't hit the main part of the fire, but they do slow it down temporarily in there, and then that's going to be the end for us. And I'm sure that they continue to fight this fire for a period of time. We can see here as they apply that water, they're really getting quite a bit probably up into that space. See, look at that. It's now we still have this turbulent black over here, some brown right here, but this has got that gray in it from the steam, right? The steam getting in there, and actually increases the total volume coming out of that space. Now we know they've quit applying water, so we know that just because of the turbulence and the density here, that we still have a pretty good working fire somewhere, and that's going to be temporary, right? Their impact with that deck gun is going to be temporary, which is fine. They're reworking their strategy, and I'm not too worried about their strategy and tactics here, but just understanding what we can see from when we start, right? When we start, we have this, right? That's at a minute and a half, and this is at 4.5, right? So it's only, third thing is recognize this is only 3 minutes, which when you're watching video seems like a long time, but as you know, on the fire ground, 3 minutes goes by pretty darn fast, right? Okay, once again, remember we're looking at volume, velocity, density, color. We want to inventory those attributes. We want to compare those over the course of time to understand what's going on our fire ground, right? We should have some sort of prediction in our mind. When we get there, we see it. We can make the assessment of what's going on, where the fire is, how big the fire is, what we're going to do about it. We should have some expectation of the time element for our operational pace to get a line up there to start having that impact if in fact you're going through here versus in the back. And I don't know what they're doing here. I'm just saying that whatever it is, you should have an idea what that operational pace is going to be and what you think is going to happen over the course of that time, what actually happens. And then, of course, if we start our fire attack, do things get better, right? There's no stalemate in fighting fire, right? It's you're either winning or losing. We just need to be aware of what's going on there, and that has nothing to do with how hard people are trying or that sort of thing. On any given day, we don't always win. Hey, once again, Merry Christmas to everybody. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a comment. Let me know, hey, this could have got better, that could have got better. I really do like to improve. If there's something, video that you know of somewhere, if you can send me a link in the comments, that'd be great. I'm always looking for stuff for reading smoke. With doing these every single week, right, I'm making sure that we have enough content to keep it going. And for that, I'd like to thank again the UDizzy 1969 and the Worcester Fire Department. And thank you, Reading Smoke Nation. I really enjoy these videos, and I hope to see you on the road next year teaching. If you want something, just hit me up. All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye.